The Achaemenid Persian Empire was one of the largest and most important civilizations in the ancient world. It began in the middle of the 6th century BCE and grew into a powerful empire that stretched across 3 continents. At its height, it covered land from the Indus Valley in the east to Egypt and Greece in the west. The Persians created a strong, organized, and diverse empire that impressed even their enemies. The empire is called Achaemenid because its kings claimed descent from a man named Achaemenes, who lived many generations before the empire was founded. Although little is known about Achaemenes, his name became the symbol of the royal family. The rise of this empire changed the history of the ancient Near East forever and left a lasting influence on world culture, religion, and government. The story of the Persian Empire truly begins with Cyrus II, who is better known as Cyrus the Great. Cyrus became the king of a small Persian kingdom around 559 BCE. At that time, the Persians were not the most powerful people in their region. They were under the control of a larger empire called the Median Empire. Cyrus, however, was a skilled leader and a brave soldier. He gained support from both Persians and Medes because of his fair rule and strong personality. In 550 BCE, he led a successful rebellion against the Median king Astyages. After defeating Astyages, Cyrus united the Medes and Persians into one people. This victory laid the foundation for the Persian Empire. Cyrus did not stop there. He quickly expanded his empire to the west, conquering the wealthy kingdom of Lydia, which was ruled by King Croesus. Lydia was famous for its riches, and Croesus believed he could defeat Cyrus, but he was wrong. After the Persians captured Lydia, the Greek cities on the western coast of Asia Minor also came under Persian control. Cyrus' most famous conquest was Babylon, which he captured in 539 BCE. Babylon was one of the most powerful and respected cities in the ancient world. It had enormous walls, beautiful temples, and great wealth. Many people inside Babylon were unhappy with their king, so when Cyrus arrived, he entered the city peacefully. He treated the people with respect and did not destroy their temples. This behavior earned him an excellent reputation across the ancient world. One of his most important actions was allowing the Jewish people, who had been exiled in Babylon, to return to their homeland in Jerusalem. This event is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible and in the Cyrus cylinder, an ancient clay inscription that describes some of his policies. Cyrus is often remembered as a ruler who valued justice, mercy, and fairness. His leadership style became a model for kings who came after him. Cyrus died in 530 BCE during a military campaign in Central Asia, but he left behind a strong and stable empire that continued to expand after his death. When Cyrus died, his son Cambyses too became king. Cambyses continued his father's policies of expansion. His greatest achievement was the conquest of Egypt in 525 BC. Egypt was an ancient civilization with a long history, and it was known for its wealth, culture, and powerful pharaohs. Cambyses successfully defeated the Egyptian army and added Egypt to the Persian Empire. This victory made Persia one of the most powerful empires the world had ever seen. Cambyses ruled Egypt for several years, but some ancient sources describe him as harsh and unpredictable. It is difficult to know how accurate these stories are because they were often written by Greek authors who disliked the Persians. Cambyses tried to organize expeditions deeper into Africa, but some of these attempts failed due to the harsh desert climate. His reign, though successful in military terms, ended suddenly in 522 BCE when he died while returning from Egypt. The cause of his death is unknown. After his death, confusion and rebellion broke out across the empire because a man claiming to be his brother took the throne. Many people believe this man was an impostor. The political chaos ended when Darius I, later known as Darius the Great, took control of the empire. Darius was not the son of Cambyses, but a distant relative of the royal family. He gained power by defeating the impostor and putting down several revolts. Once he became king, he worked hard to strengthen and reorganize the empire. Darius was one of the most important rulers in Persian history because he created a system of government that allowed the empire to manage many different peoples and cultures. Darius divided the empire into provinces called satrapies. Each satrapy was ruled by a governor called a satrap, who was responsible for collecting taxes, enforcing law and order, and reporting to the king. To prevent any satrap from becoming too powerful, Darius created a system of checks and balances. Military commanders and royal inspectors were appointed to watch over satraps and make sure they remained loyal to the king. This system kept the empire stable for many years. Darius also worked to strengthen the economy. He introduced a standard system of weights and measures and created a new gold coin called the daric, which helped trade grow across the empire. In addition, he built and improved roads that connected different parts of the empire. The most famous of these was the Royal Road, which ran from Sardis in Asia Minor to Susa in Persia. Along this road, stations were built where royal messengers could rest or change horses. This communication system was so fast that ancient writers claimed no other empire could match it. Under Darius, the empire reached its largest size, stretching from India to northern Greece and from Central Asia to Egypt. Darius began building a grand ceremonial capital at Persepolis, which became one of the most beautiful and impressive cities in the ancient world. He also left behind a long inscription known as the Behistun inscription, carved into a cliff in western Iran. This inscription describes how Darius gained the throne and defeated his enemies. Because it was written in 3 different languages, it later helped modern scholars learn how to read Old Persian cuneiform writing. Although Darius was a strong ruler, his attempt to expand Persian power into Greece led to conflict with the Greek city-states. The trouble began when some Greek cities in Asia Minor rebelled against Persian rule in the Ionian Revolt. Athens supported the rebels, which angered Darius. In 490 BCE, he sent an army to punish Athens and expand Persian influence. The Persians landed at Marathon, a plain near Athens, but the Athenians defeated them in a surprising and decisive battle. This defeat was a major shock to Darius. He planned a much larger invasion but died before he could carry it out. Xerxes I, the son of Darius, inherited the throne and continued his father's plans. Xerxes assembled a massive army and navy to invade Greece in 480 BCE. His forces crossed into Europe by building a bridge of boats across the Hellespont, an incredible engineering achievement for the time. The Persians won early victories, including the famous Battle of Thermopylae, where a small group of Greek soldiers led by King Leonidas of Sparta held off the Persian army for 3 days. Although the Persians eventually won that battle, the Greeks used the delay to prepare their defenses. Later, the Greek navy defeated the Persian fleet at the Battle of Salamis. This battle was a turning point because the Persian navy was weakened and the Persian army could not be supplied properly. In 479 BCE, the Greeks won another major victory at the Battle of Plataea, forcing the Persians to withdraw. After these defeats, Xerxes returned to Persia, and the Persians ended their attempts to conquer Greece. Although these defeats did not destroy the empire, they damaged Persian prestige and gave the Greeks a strong sense of pride and identity. Life inside the Persian Empire continued to be rich and diverse. The empire included many different peoples, languages, and religions. Unlike some conquerors, the Persians did not force everyone to follow Persian customs. Instead, they allowed each group to keep its own traditions, laws, and religious practices. This helped maintain peace and loyalty among the empire's subjects. The Persians themselves followed the teachings of Zoroaster, the founder of Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. Zoroastrianism taught that there was one supreme god, Ahura Mazda, who represented truth and goodness. There was also an opposing force of evil called Angra Mainyu. Humans were expected to choose good over evil, and their actions had consequences in the afterlife. Many scholars believe that Zoroastrian ideas influenced later religions such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Persian art and architecture reached a high point during the Achaemenid period. The city of Persepolis, begun by Darius and completed by later kings, was a masterpiece of design and craftsmanship. Its halls, columns, and staircases were decorated with carvings that showed representatives from many nations bringing gifts to the Persian king. These images symbolized unity and peaceful cooperation under Persian rule. The Persians were also skilled engineers. They built canals, bridges, and underground water channels called qanats, which allowed them to farm successfully in dry regions. These achievements helped support a strong and growing population. After the death of Xerxes, several kings ruled the empire, including Artaxerxes I, Darius II, and Artaxerxes II. Although the empire remained large, it slowly grew weaker because of internal problems. Court politics became complicated, and powerful families often fought for influence. Some satraps became rebellious and tried to rule their provinces independently. Egypt revolted more than once, and the Persians struggled to control it. The later kings also relied heavily on Greek mercenaries, which increased Greek influence within the empire. Despite these difficulties, the empire survived for many more decades. The last great challenge came during the reign of Darius III, the final king of the Achaemenid dynasty. During this time, a young and ambitious leader named Alexander the Great rose to power in Macedonia. In 334 BCE, Alexander invaded the Persian Empire with a well-trained army. Although the Persians were numerous, their forces were not as well organized as Alexander's. In a series of major battles at Granicus, Issus, and Gaugamela, Alexander defeated Darius III and gained control of the empire. After the defeat at Gaugamela in 331 BCE, the Persian Empire effectively collapsed. Darius III fled eastward but was killed by his own men. Alexander marched through Persia and took control of its great cities, including Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis. He admired Persian culture and tried to blend Greek and Persian traditions. He even married a Persian princess and encouraged his officers to marry Persian women. However, Alexander died at the age of 32, and his empire quickly divided among his generals. Even though the Persian Empire fell, its legacy lived on. The Achaemenid system of government became a model for later empires. The idea of dividing land into provinces, maintaining roads, using standardized currency, and respecting the cultures of conquered peoples influenced the Hellenistic kingdoms, the Roman Empire, and many later governments. Persian art, architecture, and engineering also continue to inspire later civilizations. The religion of Zoroastrianism survived long after the empire ended and influenced some of the world's major faiths. In addition, the idea of religious tolerance practiced by Cyrus the Great became an important example in world history. Modern Iran still considers the Achaemenid period a proud part of its cultural heritage. In conclusion, the Achaemenid Persian Empire was one of the most remarkable civilizations of the ancient world. It was built by strong leaders like Cyrus the Great, expanded by ambitious kings like Cambyses and Darius, and challenged by powerful enemies such as the Greeks. The empire was known for its vast size, diverse population, administrative skill, impressive architecture, and lasting cultural achievements. Although it eventually fell to Alexander the Great, its influence continued for centuries. The legacy of the Achaemenid Empire can still be seen today in government systems, religious ideas, and cultural traditions across the world.